Let's go to another clip, Colleen, if you would. Let's go to Nancy Pelosi. This is going to be cut too, Colleen. Nancy Pelosi on blocking Trump's national emergency. As I asked Denver Riggleman, who cares? I mean, so look, so they have a vote and they block the emergency. And the New York Times runs a headline that says Trump's national emergency rebuked. Are you going to lose any sleep over it? No, because the president then Monday is going to veto it if it gets to his desk. And then Congress is going to go back, and to override the veto, they need 2/3 in both houses. They have 2/3 in neither house. So it is all to do about nothing, and it is just fodder for the New York Times, the Washington Post, and CNN to put on their moniker. Anyway, let's give her her due. Pelosi for blocking the president's national emergency. And by the way, it's not for the wall. It's for $3 billion of the $8 billion. $5 billion is already baked in the cake. He's already building it with $5 billion now. So we're only going to talk about $3.1 billion. That's the incremental difference of the national emergency funds. So that's what I was trying to explain at a forum last evening. The president's already got $5 billion done. $5 billion is done for the wall, is already been passed, done, and he can get access to the money. No courts, nobody can block it, no Congress. It's the $3.1 billion coming from the emergency funding in declaring a national emergency that's at issue. Cut to Fancy Nancy.
The president's power grab usurps that constitutional responsibility and fundamentally violates the balance of power envisioned by our founders. To defend our democracy, the House will pass Congressman Castro's privileged resolution to terminate the emergency declaration tomorrow. I salute Congressman Castro for his work leading up to the moment so that we are ready. And he is chair of the House Congressional Hispanic Caucus. He's a distinguished member of Congress from the state of Texas, which has the longest border with Mexico. But this isn't about the border. This is about the Constitution of the United States. This is not about politics. It's not about partisanship. It's about patriotism. And so, again, once we pass this resolution, we will send it over to the Senate. All members, as I say, have taken the oath of office. We would be delinquent in our duties if we did not resist, we did not fight back and to overturn the president's declaration.
It's patriotic to vote against Trump is basically what she's saying. What a laughing stock, right? It's patriotic. Vote against the president. It's patriotic because we don't like him. Yeah, meantime, drugs, MS-13 gangs, illegals pouring over the border. It's unpatriotic. No wall. Don't give them the $3 billion. It's really laughable. So go ahead and have your vote. Who cares? Oh, Justin Amash from Michigan. Look, if you had some moxie, you would say, you know what, the hell with this national funding. You would do what Denver Riggleman said. Let's go back and rescind the 1976 Emergency Powers Act. You know, get right to the core. That would be, see, if they did that, now you would have a tougher argument because that's going to be for all presidents. Just rescind it. That would be a debate to have. Now you have a constitutional debate, and you get a lot more Republicans to go along with that, and they'd have to say, you know, am I willing to sacrifice this deal for giving Congress their right powers back who gave it away to Jimmy Carter in 1976? See, that's a debate you would have. But see, they don't want to do that. They want to pick and choose. They want national emergencies for when they have Democrats in there, but not when Trump's there. So they want to pick and choose. If they were serious about being a patriot, then they would go back and rescind the 1976 Executive National Emergencies Act. They would rescind it, and they would probably have the votes then maybe to override the president's veto. And Congress could say, look, we don't care who's president. We are willing. Republicans could say, we're going to sacrifice the $3 billion for the wall in order to get rid of this act which is a dereliction of congressional power and duty under the Constitution. And the people in 1976 who voted to give Jimmy Carter this power were wrong and were rescinding it. Now you got an argument. But see, this argument is all politics. So for her to sit there and say, oh, it's not partisan, it's not politics, it's patriotism. Well, if it's patriotism, rescind the whole darn thing, Nancy. Rescind all of it if it is truly patriotic, if it is truly nonpartisan, if it is truly not about politics, then go back and vote out the 1976 National Emergency Act that Congress gave away their constitutional authority to the executive branch. If you really want to make the argument, stop being cowardly and make it. Because what she said is a cowardly statement. It's patriotic only because Trump is doing it. If Obama was doing it, I look the other way and clap in the closet. But because Trump is doing it, now I've got to have a resolution. Just on Trump, not on the whole law. This is the duplicity and the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, which is now bereft of any national standing or legitimate ideas. I would love to see one Democrat come out and say, I'm voting against this resolution because it is simply going after icing on the cake. I want to go after the flour. I want to stop the cakes from being baked, not go after the candle on it. And let's have a resolution, a law passed by a Democrat to rescind the law that the Democrats passed with big majorities in 1976 to give away their power. That would be an argument. Would that not be an argument? Would that not be something you could legitimately debate? And then Nancy Pelosi could get on TV and get in front of the New York Times and the Washington Post and the other fake newsers and say, look, this is a bigger picture than Trump's $3 billion. And Republicans could say, you know what? I want the extra $3 billion, but this is so big that in the short term, I'm going to go with rescinding